Now, Sheikh Hasina, of course, is getting the highest Gaurav honor at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. She has been received by the President, of course, welcoming Sheikh Hasina, the Bangladesh Prime Minister, at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Prime Minister and senior top BJP leaders also present at this particular event. She is receiving, as per ceremony, right, Bangladesh Prime Minister there being received by the President. Remember, this is the first bilateral visit by a foreign leader after the new Narendra Modi government has come into power. This visit, of course, from the 21st to today is being seen as an important step between Bangladesh and India in terms of ties. I have my colleague Vishal joining us with more details as well. Vishal, now we're just getting in visuals of Sheikh Hasina being received at the Rashtrapati Bhavan with full state honours.
So this is a very important visit when it comes to the bilateral trade between the two countries. Traditionally, India and Bangladesh have been partners, reliable partners on the international stage. So this state visit will sort of solidify that even more. To give you some perspective, India has always looked to Bangladesh, in its neighborhood first policy, and the cooperation between the countries extends to areas such as security, trade, science and technology, defense, and a lot of other things as well. And India's biggest trading partner in South Asia is Bangladesh, and India is also Bangladesh's largest export destination in Asia. To give you some more perspective, approximately $2 billion of Bangladeshi exports were sent to India in 2022-2023 financial year. And the total bilateral trade between the countries is reportedly as much as $15.9 billion. That was in 2023. So several memorandums of understanding are supposed to be signed in this trip. The fact that this is the first state visit by a foreign leader during PM Modi's third term also makes it quite significant. So it remains to be seen what kind of deals are signed. but it could be ranging from areas like science and technology to also some railways agreements are also supposed to be on the plate.
Right, Vishal. Now, in terms of the discussions, we of course know that Sheikh Hasina did meet with the Prime Minister as well as the External Affairs Minister as well. Do you have any details of the issues that were discussed?
So, as we've been reporting, mostly the areas that they are concentrating on, it could be around the railways that I mentioned. There's a railway line that is supposedly going to be connecting the two countries. That could be one of the main things. And other areas such as science and technology and defense could also be there. So the details are yet to emerge. So as soon as we get it, we'll report them.
Right, Vishal, now India has been in fact putting forward its neighbourhood first policy. It also reflected in the oath-taking ceremony of the new NDA government, and Sheikh Hasina being the first bilateral visit essentially for this government also sort of indicates, don't you think, the reciprocation from these neighbourhood countries of friendly ties?
That is true. The fact that Mr. Jaishankar visited Sri Lanka just day before yesterday and then came straight to India and met Sheikh Hasina, it sort of highlights India's neighborhood first policy, as you mentioned. Since China has also been trying to exert its influence in the area, it becomes imperative that India would also try to, sort of counter that in some ways. The fact that Maldives has had some kind of history with India in the sense that there were some developments that was not really cordial between the two countries. So India is sort of trying to extend its hand to other countries in its neighborhood so that China's influence could be, brought down to a lower level. Of course, this is just a theory. The government has not made statements specifically on this, but one can assume that that could be the strategy of the governments.
Right, Vishal, like you mentioned, trade is a very important and significant part of Bangladeshi and India ties. How do you think the trade relationship is being taken forward between both nations?
So Bangladesh remains one of the biggest garment manufacturers in the world. As I mentioned earlier, India is Bangladesh's largest export destination in Asia. So it's an important partnership. The bilateral trade is reportedly almost as big as $16 billion in just 1 year. That is financial year 2022-2023. So it will be a big visit in terms of trade as well.
Right, Vishal. Thank you for joining us and bringing us those details on this particular story.